there, guys. Welcome to another Railroader video. Today we're going to go over a few things that I have recently unlocked on my personal play of my career save, if you will. I think this is number 7. I need to really pay attention to the number. I'm pretty sure it's 6 or 7. It's one of those two. Anyway, there was a recent update for those unaware with a couple of things that were very notable and not welcomed from a lot of people, myself included. Now, a caveat to that, of course, is yes, this is still in early access. Things are going to change. That's how EA in betas and alphas and whatnot work in this day and age of PC gaming. So there were a lot of bugs squashed for starters. But one of the notable things is this right here, the limited tree and detail density to 1.0 in the hopes that will mitigate crashes. So what this does is hard locks your scenery settings, and it basically makes the game look like Wyoming or something like that. It really culls all of the trees within the game. Not only that, but the detail itself. So before you could set it all the way to 2.0, now it's capped at 1.0 for the time being. And it says this was done to mitigate crashes. Now, I haven't really seen or heard too many people talking about the game crashing, but it is good that they're trying to fix these things for, I guess, a small group or a small lot of people that may be playing this, and I get it. The issue here with me personally and how I looked at this is this was capped for all, which I didn't really see that as a good move personally. I feel like you could have just been given the option to turn it down if you so choose to do that, instead of making everyone have some poor scenery. So anyway, that's that's not totally crazy about that. I know a few out there as well are not, thrilled about that either, but it is what it is, and that's what it is right now. Now, that being said as well, there is someone that has figured out how to mod this game so far. There's actually a few people that have figured it out, but there's someone that's really figured out some of the core workings of the game and figured out how to get it back to where it was. Now, this is not a public mod that is on offer. Now, it's on this person's website. I will link you to the website, and then what you have to do as well, if you would like to get your tree and scenery density back up to pre-patch, sorry to say, you'll need to follow a very specific instructions, which I'll detail a bit later on, and then down below in the description for the game as well. A lot of other cool things went on besides kind of killing the scenery as well. But we'll go over those in due time. But anywho, let's get started. Alrighty then, so we are at Alarka Junction. I finally unlocked this, and what a milestone it has certainly felt like to me anyway. So we're headed down to Alarka next. We're kind of going to be focusing on that and some signaling. So I unlocked and got the signals built from Bryson to Whittier for the CTC, or the semaphore signaling that you'll see across the line. But a few things that also went into the patch or the update, there are quite a few things. So one of them being is your, let's do shift 2. So this is your orbital, your free cam. This was kind of smoothed out a little bit, so it's not super jerky. I know on my videos personally, I could make that look quite crazy sometimes and possibly make you want to toss your cookies, so to speak. But now it's a lot smoother. I kind of like how it is now. It's certainly smoother. It's easier to pan around and move around and not kind of get lost in what you're doing. Something else that you can do is they have changed the blocking at the interchange. So let me see if I can figure out how to get the... Let's see, where is it at? No, I always forget where the heck it's at here. There's like 5 sub-menus. I'll find it here. Let me just click all of them until we get there. Yeah, this one. That's the one I want. So let's get rid of these. Yep. So you can change how your your blocking is done at the interchange. So before, it would kind of, the interchange, the other railroad would bring your cars along in kind of nice blocks, and you could just drop them off along the way, which is what I do because it's kind of time saver in my eyes. Now you can get it changed with different options. So I've still got it set to block by destination, although while I still have it set to block by destination, how I've been playing for many, many weeks now, something has gone askew and it's actually reversed a couple of the blocks. So I still have to do a bit of switching at the interchange to get my daily setup the way that I want it. But something has definitely gone awry. I know I said askew. We'll go with awry this time. So something's happened there. Again, it is what it is. I don't know if that'll be fixed in time, but you've got other options as well. You've got mostly blocked. Now, I kind of feel like the way that my game is, my career save right now, it's set to mostly blocked, even though I have it set at blocked. Then there's somewhat blocked and hostile, which means when your interchange arrives and all these cars, like the cars we've got set out here, so I have currently got them all set up for Alarka and then Robinson Gap Cold. Now, if this were to arrive at the interchange, these would be all mixed up, and you would have to block them how you wanted there at the interchange or any of the various yards along the line, so on and so forth. Now, another thing that was done is the behavior of the AI and flares. So now when you place a flare down for your AI train, it is generally going to get as close as possible to it. So before, I'm sure a lot of you might have noticed, playing Railroader over time, that sometimes if you had a big heavy train, it would just overshoot that flare by like a country mile sometimes. That has not happened as far as I can tell now in any of my playthroughs here in the last couple days now. They actually stopped really close to it. They used to stop like a full maybe car's length away from the flare. Now they get pretty close. They'll start to brake. They'll throttle up again if they need to get just a little bit closer. It takes more time. So if you're like into the time saver stuff like me, it might not be a good thing, but it does, it does make it a little easier so you don't foul something up and get a derailment, hit another train, and all that good stuff. So the AI flare has been reworked, so the train now gets a little closer, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure 99.9% does not overshoot. All right, so back to the game or let's play style of my career here in Railroader. We have opened up Alarka Junction down through this very, very picturesque valley down here to the copper mines. So there's some copper mines back in here, and actually a little town. And you've got a depot down here as well. So it opens up 2 new depots for your passenger runs. So you've actually got Alarka, and then you've got Cochrane, which is right up here. And as soon as you start getting some industries and opening up some tiers down in here, you will, of course, get passengers. I think I just saw that passengers were dropped off for like $400. Yeah, $420 for 92 fares. So that's pretty good. I'm doing okay in the passenger department. Still not trying to get too crazy about it. But I did. Let's go ahead and go take a peek at the passenger train in Alarka. Click on that. Follow. And by the way, apparently some of the people that were having crashes were doing this teleporting thing. So I'm not sure. I think there's kind of like a couple of different ways you can go about teleporting. But typically I click on the locomotive and then click follow. So I don't know. I guess I heard a couple people talking about crashes like that, teleporting, or maybe the dev mentioned it in the official Discord. But anyway, that aside, this is now the passenger train. Of course, I've still got the A26 Atlantic. And before we had 3 coaches, now we have got 5. So I ordered another OG wooden car, and then I ordered the observation car, which everybody talks about, because you get a 20% extra. We'll go down here and take a look at it. So you get 20% extra, a bonus to passenger fares when operated as the last car in a train. So I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean on the back end, the front end? Does it have to be on any end? I honestly do not know. I can't tell that my fare price have gone up at all, really. But yeah, so we got the observation car now. So we have got 5 coaches. And this Atlantic still pulls these no problem at all. And they fill up quite nicely, and I get some decent fares. We'll take a peek in this. I've not really looked in it yet. So it does have a headlight, so it can be ran forward. Now, for whatever reason, currently it only works, I believe, in the sandbox mode. So it can't be used in career. Now, what you could do is kind of work around is go into this here, the console, and then type in, get into the sandbox mode, turn it on, and then get back into the career mode, and then it should be on. That's a bit too much of a pain in the ass for my personal taste, so I'll just leave it off. It's no big deal. I think the markers work. Yeah, the markers can still be lit. We'll get up here and take a peek. Nice, classy car for the rich folks. The wealthy. Yeah, it looks very nice in here. Very, very scenic. Got your little private areas right here. I think it's got a pooper back here as well. It's a very cool car, though. You open these doors, I think you can kind of just morph through them. Yes, it's sort of like a closet or whatnot. And it does have a pooper. Look at that. Okay, there's the commode. Very nice. And then the regular cars are back there. So we're doing okay in the passenger department. This thing is, well, it was $7,000 roughly for me. I've got a slight discount because my percentage wasn't so hot with my my contracts. They weren't too thrilled about it. But we'll go ahead and take a peek in Alarka and see what we've got working down here, because this is a very nice scenic area down here. I like it a lot, a lot. We'll click on we'll go to locations. We'll go down to the bottom, and you've got a ton. So as soon as you've got the junction opened up down here. Oh, and that's another thing. If you hear the birds chirping, they've got a new daytime sound. So that was added as well. I don't know if it's different than the nighttime sound. It is different than the older daytime sound, but it's just some different, you know, birds chirping and things of that nature, which is pretty nice. Anywho, back to Alarka. Soon as you open it up, you're going to want to go ahead and take some of these. There's quite a bit. So you've got these two copper stubs right here. You've got your depot, which, you know, they'll get stuff for the team track and whatnot, just like all the other depots on the map. Alarka fuel. So tankers, machining, probably some box cars, and then MG Chemical. So you do have quite a bit of stuff down here. I'd say it's just about as much as maybe Bryson. Yeah, there looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's got more than Bryson. So very good. So you've got a lot of stuff down here, some tiers you can open up. For now, I think I only chose tier 1 just to kind of get a feeler for it, see how I like it. But you do get a nice big ass yard. So you've got a very large yard here, a lot of passing tracks. You've got your engine house back here, your repair shed. You of course have the coaling tower and the water there, the biggins, the big boys. You've got a couple little spurs there, equipment. I think that actually might be, this one here might actually be the chemical deal, the fuel something. But there's a lot of room back here to move around. And then back down here are the copper mine stubs and whatnot. And I've heard tales of this being some of the craziest stuff in the game. So you're definitely going to want to have something that can push cars up and down out of here, because there's a couple of crazy switchbacks as well. I know there's one. It's on the southern branch here. Yeah. So there's some stuff like that. This is like the main switchback here. And we're going to be testing that out here shortly. So we'll go back. So we have opened up Alarka. We'll go back, click on that, select, follow. We are back. So I just bought, and I am now back in debt. Let me open that up here. Finance. Oh, I've got $1,600 in the bank. I guess I'm eating mayonnaise sandwiches this week. I don't know. I had to get a loan. I had to get $5,000 out so I could currently buy. It was nice not being in debt for a while. But anyway, you got to do what you got to do. And what I did for why I did it was this chunker right here. 080, the big boy. This thing's got like 50,000 pounds force tractive effort, I think. It's pretty huge. Let me get this up here. Where's it at? S51. Yeah, 51,000 pounds. Yeah, holds quite a lot of coal and a lot of water as well. So basically I got this, and it's been running deadheaded on this train that's came down here to go down into Alarka to work those copper mines and the yard. It's probably not ever really going to leave Alarka. It might come up to the junction the way I have it set up, the way I have my railroad set up in the game. But yeah, I bought this sucker. I could have gotten the 060, but honestly, I've been using the 060 in Silva, and I still do. And it gets the job done, but sometimes it's just a little too weak sauce. I mean, for the most part, I only move a couple cars around at a time, but it does seem to struggle a little bit. So I figured out here it's a lot more sketch back in here. I'll give the 080 a shot. Nothing's permanent. I can get rid of this thing, sell it, get something else if I need to. But we've got the 080, and now I'm dirt poor. So I brought this train down here. What I'm going to do is split it up. We're going to leave the Robinson Gap coal, and then these two chonkers right here, my Connie and the Deca boys, are going to take it on to the coal mine, and then we will continue down and just check out the lovely scenery through the Alarka Valley back here, in which it crosses the river a couple of times. It's like a really narrow valley. When you're north of here, when you get north of Bryson, it's like a very large, wide open area for the most part. So back in here, it's a little bit more tight, a little bit more narrow. But before we do that, let's go and take a look at something else that I've recently gotten and unlocked, which I was kind of leery of, if I'm completely honest. We'll open our milestones. Complete. There we go. Signals Whittier to Bryson, which I just completed maybe like an hour before recording right now. So we now have CTC signals from Bryson to Whittier. So let's go take a look at that real quick. All right, we're back down in Nasirb, or Bryson, which is kind of the heart of Railroader in this line for the most part, where its anchor ends are presently. I think they do plan on expanding that, which would be very Chad of them. That'd be nice to see. But we now have CTC signalage, and here they are. Now, of course, you can run these in sandbox mode. It's it's wide open if you want, but it was fairly easy to do. Now it's very expensive, so I wouldn't recommend going outright if you're just starting out your railroad. Get as many engines as you safely can operate for your passenger train, your switchers, a couple engines and a couple different anchor points on your map currently. I would maybe hold off for this. I just kind of wanted to see what it was like, so I figured, what the hell, I'm not going to build the railroad itself too much further for the time being. I will eventually build out to not Andrews, Almond. And anyway, so I did this. And they look cool. They do look nice. I like the function and the animation of them. Like a lot of things in the game, they do look really, really nice. Sort of like the way the brake stands look and the locomotives and things like that, and the signage. They do look really, really nice in the game, in Railroader. And it's cool to watch them in action. And they do work for the most part from what I've seen. Let's go find one. I had a pretty good one here to look at a minute ago. Can actually hit that switch here. So here's a big one. Here's one of the bigger ones. It's got 3 on it. So go ahead and pop that. And there we go. It's cool to see them work and do their thing. And, they don't really do much else for playability of the game, as far as I can tell, because you still have to throw switches if you're just playing solo or whatnot. But if you've got a dedicated dispatcher sitting down in the tower down there in Bryson, or the depot, if you will, then it does change things quite a lot. But you also have to kind of babysit these. So if you're playing on your own, like I am most of the time, you're gonna have to babysit these, because I've ran into a couple of issues already where it's looking at a block up ahead and it's just putting the kibosh on the line and stopping your train well before where you have the flare. So it's like the signals do come first now and then the switches, but you still have to manually throw the switches, and they are all over the map. What's cool is you can see them on the map where their location is as well. Something else I noticed is it kind of messed up where the ALA, oh no, it didn't. Okay, maybe it just looks weird when you zoomed in. I feel like it messed up where the envelope looking thing is. It's obviously a depot, but it looks like an envelope. I thought it messed that up. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the way you zoom in on it. Huh. And that being said, they did something else with the UI. Let's see. Oh, so you've got UI scale now, so you can have it like absolutely massive if you want, like that, like one of those old telephones, you know, with the gigantic numbers. I think I had it at like 115, just so you can, you know, clearly see it and click and grab things if need be and whatnot. But anyway, semaphore signal CTC, we got them now from Whittier to Bryson. And let's get back down here. Let's hop off the locomotive and run inside. How can I get in here? I think you got to go in the back. Let's see. Is this it? Oh, here it is. So before, this will not be here, right? It is here now. I think that clock was always there, which is pretty cool. But you sit in the seat just like you do in the locomotives. And this is it. It looks crazy, man, because I remember watching the developer vlogs or whatnot on YouTube and seeing this whole board fleshed out. And I took a peek at this a moment ago. I was like, what the hell? It's missing a bunch of stuff. And it is, because it's only signaled from Whittier to Bryson. So, of course, this whole board will be fleshed out once you've got... What does that do? I don't know what those do. What does that do? Hey, what's that? What did I just do? Oh, no. They're duplicating. They're like lemmings. What have I done? Delete. Delete. I don't know what I'm doing with that. Okay. It's, yeah, we'll just leave that as is. So let's see. ABS and CTC, two different modes. I'm not really going to try and mess with this at all. I don't even really see any switches. I'm not totally sure. Now, there we go. So if you switch it to CTC, I was thinking I could just click it and it would switch, but you have to actually click and then drag it over. That's the manual mode. So that's the way that you can actually flick these switches and whatnot. That's going to be a whole nother thing. I'm going to have to mess around with that one day. You know, playing solo, it's going to be hard to do, you know. Sure, you could set up a couple of AI trains and, you know, have them going down the line and come in here and sit down and set that up, but they're still going to have to stop. You're still going to have to control the train. So this is very much a thing where you're probably going to need to be on a server, be playing with other people. And then that's where the fun starts, obviously, in doing dispatch, because I do like messing with dispatch and stuff like Run 8 and SimRail. So it's always nice to see the dispatch side of things and, you know, in rail and train sims as well. So anyway, we got semaphores, just some new kind of scenery or decoration, if you will, in my career save right now. But let's go get that train down to Alarka. Before we do that, I just had a light switch moment. So I remember these things now. What you can do is you can actually set them to a train on the board. And in that way, you know, like who's where, you know, what train it is, things like that. That's what those are. So again, I'm not really going to mess with any of this stuff presently, but we've got the board and semaphores. All right, train time. All right, we are back down to Alarka Junction in the Big Ocho. Here she is in all her chonkus glory. Let's go ahead and cut this train apart. So we'll run down here. This is right where it's going. We'll pop that. I'm going to leave that open. We will close that. Let me throw that. Actually, no. I'm going to close that because there's a train on the other side of it. Let me just go down here and set these trains. Let's see. Click that. Select. All right, so it's still set to multiple unit mode. Let's go over here and click the Kone. And it's still the lead. Okay. So let me select that just to double check that the brakes are set and all that good stuff. All right, should be good. And it is in manual mode. Select. It's in manual. Double check just to make sure this thing don't roll anywhere. All right, so that should be good as of right now. We'll run down here. There we go. So these are split. I did close that CAC on the end. All right, let's get this son of a gun down the line. Orders, manual car, select. Let's get rid of those two thingamabobs. And we have obviously got the handbrake on down there. There we go. And something else, I mentioned it the other day in the other video I made. The springs, the coils on these rail cars are animated, which is pretty damn cool. I only realized that last time I was playing this. So when you got a load, they will they'll squish or compress, and when a car is unloaded, they will expand, sort of like a slinky. Let's see if we can spot an unloaded car. That one's unloaded right there. Let's see. We'll hover over it. Okay, no, it's not. It's just not very heavy. I'm a total idiot. Probably totally different springs too. Those are old school leaf springs. Let's see. Are any of these empty? Negative. All right, so they're all full. It is what it is. Let's get rid of this flare. All right, so let's make our way down to Alarka. And that is the run down from Alarka Junction to Alarka, which we are currently now at. Let's go ahead and pop the map open here. This is where we are. We made it. That passenger train will probably sit here a little while and then make its way back across the map all the way back to Silva. So we got a good run before us now. I mean, I haven't even really unlocked. Let's see. We've still got all this bit to go. A lot. And this is the crazy stuff right here, guys. All this through here. is the crazy stuff. Mucho crazy-o. Loco. I was looking for loco. Anyway, so this is where we're at now. That was the run. You cross, so the body of water, that was Alarka Creek. You cross that no less than probably half a dozen times, possibly more, quite a bit. You got a tunnel, and it's very, very picturesque. Like, as far as I've seen on this map in the game, it is in real life as well. But as far as I've seen in this instance in the game, it's very, very nice looking. You're right along the water, several bridges and all that. But we're here, and we have work to do. So first things first, we got to take this coal gun that I ordered here, and we got to set it next to the coaling tower, which is just on the back side of that. So we're gonna have to run around and push that in there. So let us go ahead and get at it. We will go ahead and throw this sucker back forwards. That is not what I wanted to do. Jeez, that is not what I wanted to do. I need to uncouple first, don't I? Lord above, you get all wrapped up thinking something else, and you start doing something muscle memory, and you just got to stop and think for a minute. Hey, I'm not doing this right. There we go. All right. We let them clamp down a little bit on there, so we'll go ahead and get back here so we can run around. Man, you can just see that grade in the distance. So as soon as we get this this coaling tower sorted, we're going to do that first and foremost, because I want to see how cray-cray it is back in there, if it's as bad as I've been hearing. I got the 080. This is like the third best as far as tractive effort goes. It might have been overkill, but hell, like I said, I can get rid of it if need be. Swap it out for something else like Silva, or when I do get down to Andrews, which is another big area, should have quite a few businesses down there as well. Maybe take it down there. This thing definitely will not be going over to grade. It's another thing I'm worried about is what I'm going to be using to go over the grade, going over Topton, and all the tricky stuff going over to Andrews, because that actually may be a little sketch. So I might, I don't know yet. I just do not know yet. I might stick, get on the steps here. I might stick to 2 Connies, maybe 3, depending on what's needed. We shall see. I think as far as the decapod, I've been contemplating selling the thing. It's very chunk. It gets the job done, but it doesn't have that good kind of sword I'm looking for as far as the curvature and the way the wheels are set up and just the sheer size of the thing. I feel like the Connies, especially the big nice Connie, would most likely be set up best for that overall. But we'll see when the time comes. Go ahead and hop back on the backboard here, set it in reverse. Get these things. I'm just going to take all of them and shove that one back yonder. Go ahead and hop off here. 2 miles an hour, that ought to do it. All right, so we got the one at the back. So let's see, what are we looking at here? We're in the trees. All right, that's lined. So we got to run all the way back to that and right there. I do like here down at Alarka how you can run straight through the shed back there, the engine house. That's pretty cool. And I gotta say too, man, the front of the 080, this thing looks pretty cool. I think it looks pretty mean. Kind of weird without the the front axles. But that's how they were. All right, let's slow down. We'll use the loco brake, which is not going to cut it at all. So we'll give it some more train brake. We'll go ahead and set up the reverser. Jeez, 665 tons. It is a heck of a grade. The thing is just now stopped. Oh, my Lord. All right, and backwards we go. All right, so we're set up. Let's double check our... Let's spot our track hours here. There we go. And then we'll go just hop on the back of this sucker. Double check. That is it. Alarka Tower. I've got no less than 4 of these things. It was just... I just had the one at Whittier for so long because when you build yards, for those maybe unawares, you get a cooling tower with a little bit of coal in it to start with, which is very nice. Just like when you order a new engine or something like that, you get, I think you get about half coal and water of what it will hold fully. So you will need to order some coal guns. And another note on that is, of course, is there are 2. So you've got a cheaper 2-bay, which holds 50 ton. And then you've got the larger 3-bay, which will hold 82 tons. So let's see. That one for me with my discount is 780, and that one's 1238. So yeah, I mean it's just it is more expensive, but in the long run, it's just less stuff you got to do. You know, you can let it sit longer when you start getting bigger locomotives. Bigger trains going using a lot more coal. It's just, it's going to pay off in the long run instead of having to take it to an interchange every... Geez, I'm having to go switch them out with these 2 chunks I've been using for the mainline duties at least like every 2 days. Because they go through it. They go through it. I mean, each one will... Just the 2 mainline engines will hold like 12 to 15 tons each. And then I've got the 060, and then I've got the Mike, and now this thing, so... You will run through it pretty quick. Let's get it sent back here. Let's get ran over by the rail car while we're at it. All right. They're slowing this sucker down. Probably gonna want to get it right by that little shack back there. Yeah, we'll get it right up next to that bump ski. There it is. That ought to do, but just for visual contentness, I'll back it up just a bit more. So that sucker's there. That thing is full. We'll leave that angle cock open the coupler, close it on the other side, pull forward, get out of here. There we go. All right, so where do these suckers go? I mean, since we're over here. Yeah, so that one's going right there. Hold up, hold up. Let's go ahead and put that loco brake, slow us down a little bit. So that one goes there. That one is in... Where the hell does that go? Fuel. Fuel. Okay, boom, boom. Oh, well, that worked out perfectly. So boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Shake the room. That one goes over there. Okay, copper. Team track. Where the hell's the team track at? I know I could use the menu and look at the locations, but I'm a bit of a dingus. Where in the hell is that team track? That's got to be way up there somewhere. All right, so let's get these 3 cars sorted, shall we? So the first 3 here, something's going back there. That was going right there. So let's go ahead and get them sorted. Get back in first person modage. Where's this chemical? That's got to be... Well, it says that's really close. Hold up. I like to triple check things sometimes just to make less work for myself. Oh, that's over there. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a little of a dingus pain. I'm going to have to run around that, so I'll just throw that back in the yard and do that later. So let's cut the first 3. That's what we will do. We'll leave that one open, close that one off. Forward, go. on past here. Yeah, that 080 looks good, man. I like the way the 060 looks too. I've always had a thing for switchers since I was just but a boy. Whether they be, you know, steam, but primarily diesel. Yes, I understand this is a steam-based game, but I'm still a diesel-electric boy through and through. All right, something's going back there. We got that switched. Revoice. All right, so straight back. That one's lined. What was it, one on the left there? Here's one on the left. Yeah. All right, good deal. On the back of this sucker, let's get down there and kick it. But yeah, I like switchers. Switchers are cool. I don't know why. They're just small versions of, you know, regular locomotives, basically. Tighter fit, less weight. They are just neat. I like it back in here though, man. It is super scenic. This is probably one of the most kind of curated looking areas I've seen so far on the map. Now, keep in mind your game or the average look of the game may not look like this because of the hard cap thing they did with the scenery, but I did the mod deal, which I'll explain a little bit better later on and link where you can go and find that. But you know, as the developers who talk about using mods and the modder themselves, you do it of your own volition and will. If you mess something up on your PC using any kind of mod, it is always your fault and your fault alone. So just keep that in mind in case your computer catches fire, which you know, I doubt it'll do, but you know. All right, $86. Let's cut them. Went a little too spicy on the throttle there with that one. Alright, knees are going right there. This is one of those twofer deals. I'm not crazy about these twofer deals on some of these industrial stubs, man. I've really been getting kind of lazy with some of these where they're just more of a pain in the butt to work, where I'll just let them ride a day or two until they're completely full or completely empty, and then I'll work them. I ain't gonna waste, you know, half an hour or whatnot getting a car out of some crazy situation. I'll throw it at. There we go. And that ought to do it. Duet. There we go. Let's get back there and make sure that they are in the correct spottage. Yeah, this is nice back in here, man. Really serene and just peaceful. The birds chirping. Working trains. This is like, this game is like my spirit animal. Which makes absolutely no sense, obviously, but it's very vibe. Can waste a lot of time playing this. I wouldn't call it wasting, you know, so much, but you spend a lot of time playing this. All right, let's cut them two cars. Kablammers, forward. And let's go ahead and start heading on back up that mountain. All right, let's figure out where these son of a guns go. So Alarka Team Track AL1? Is it 1 or I? Let's see, locations. Got to put on my thinking cap here. Engine service, no. AL1. Oh, that's right there. God, I'm an idiot. So that's on the other side of the depot. So I'm going to have to get that out the way. Ain't going to worry about that for now. And it's on the other side of the depot. So what I'll do is I'll throw that on the front end along with this tanker that's going to the chemical spur. So the big one we got to worry about is this Alarka Copper Company M1S. So like I said, I only did tier 1 just to kind of do, you know, a feeler. I didn't want to get all crazy with it, you know, not knowing what I needed or what I had to do, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and see where that's at. M1S. So yeah, oh no, I only got one of these. Poo-poo. All right, let's go ahead and do tier 1 on that one as well. So this one, M1S. So we'll click on it, and it's up chunk. All right, so that's a little tiny deal right there. M1S. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look on the mappage. See where we're at here. So it's that one. We're looking that way. Little tiny stubs. So we just got to push this thing up through there, I reckon. And we'll keep the cars that we currently have on us and just push that thing up in there and see what kind of work. Can I get out of here? Dear Lord, I'm stuck. It's squished over there, so because we're on a bit of a curve. All right, so that's straightened out. All right, let's go. Let's see what it's all about. Let's see what all the hullabaloo, the riffraff. See what all the stink's about. I do like how you can go straight through that engine house. That is a nice touch. I also noticed that I think it comes with a diesel fueling stand as well. I did not order that, nor did I bring a car of diesel fuel. So I guess once you unlock this area, that's just an automatic kind of deal, maybe? I'm not sure. Man, it does look nice back in here. All right, we're just going to run straight around, chunk. Worry about these two cars on the way back. Plus, think of it kind of like a trial run. See, you know, so it's 348 tons. A lot of that's the locomotive itself and the tender. But, you know, we got to bring bigger trains back here. We'll see what's what about getting back here. See how tough it is. So we need to go left at that Y down here. Probably a good idea to go ahead and slow down a tickle. Line that, and then we're lined up there. Good deal. Alright, I think that's the way we're going is left. Yeah. Oh, I love hearing the flange squeal. Let's get on the engine. There we go. Man, this thing is a little chunk, ain't it? Jesus. Little fatty. Thing's a hog. Absolute unit. Still alright. I got it about 80% reverser. Half throttle. Cracked. Slow it down now. Woo. 2.8% right there. And if you look in the background, right above where the rail cars are back there, that's the other track. Look at that. Oh my God, man. Hell yeah, dude. Hell to the yeah. Alright, this thing can handle it though. Ain't no thing. Yeah, there's the other track up there. Holy cannoli. Holy cannoli. That's 2.5%. Woo. Man, look at that. Hell yeah. I'm glad I bought this thing. First Sheezel. Alright, that looks like a sharp curve there. Oh, mama. Yeah, that is sharp. You're probably going to want something small. Maybe, hell, you might be best getting away with one of the smaller moguls back here. Or not one of the smaller moguls, but the better mogul. That's sharp, man. That's a 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour curve. Especially, you know, pilot wheels. Let's see what this is here. 1.9, so it's, yeah, it's not too crazy. It's just, it's real tucked away, you know. I think that's the thing to kind of take to heart here is it's real tucked away. It's real curvy. It's a small little area. You know, when you're back on the main line going over Topton and all that towards Andrews, it's a different story, obviously. All right, let's go ahead and hop down so we can spot this thing as good as possible. We'll see what that is. That's 1.7. Just got the one car. Now it does flatten out right here. It's a little stub as soon as you get up here. I'm gonna push this thing all the way back as far as I can, because that's a big box car. That might do it right there. All right, full loco, $86. We'll crack that open, close that off, pull forward. Man, you can hear that squealing. I love it. Yeah, that's tight. I really like some of the sounds in this game are really, really good to me. You know, the flame squeals, the coupling, just nice sounds. You know, when you're used to a lot of the you know, the train sim or railroad things on PC and whatnot, you know, 99% of it all has never really been that good. It's just really, really old. But some of the sounds in this are really good. Those two for sure. So that goes up and stops right there. That's sharp as hell right there. Woo! And I cannot wait till a lot of this stuff gets fleshed out with scenery. You know, I feel like that's a big deal. I know there's already people screaming, "Oh, I want a big boy," and all that other stuff, and that's fine, whatever. But I really feel like, you know, and I'm sure the devs obviously know what's best, but getting the game playable and optimized first and foremost, obviously. But after that, I really, really, really do hope it's down to, you know, assets and decoration and just making this place look like the present day that it's supposed to be, you know, circa late 30s, 40s, very early 50s, something like that. Here's the other line. Look at that mess, man. Holy crap. $2.5. Yeah, it's like a little mine track, basically. Jeez. Shoo! Little dry holler right there. And then that goes back in there as well. So quite a bit of stuff. This is looking pretty good, Alarka. I think that's going to do it for me today, guys. As far as covering the game itself. What we will go over next and wrap up the video with is that mod, which again, I am not responsible, nor is the developer, nor is the developer of the modification for Railroader. If you would like to get your beautiful, luscious trees back, because I tell you what, man, this game just does not look very good with bare hillsides. It's like Wyoming or I don't know, it just does not look right at all. You know, and I get it. I get why they did it. This game does tax your system a bit. I won't lie. You know, I've got a 4070 Ti, and I never, ever hear the thing, ever, with, you know, playing Cyberpunk 2077 AAA games maxed out all the way. I never, ever, ever hear my GPU. But this game, Railroader, I do. The fans kick on big time. And I'm thinking maybe that's got something to do with some of the crashes, you know, that some people may be experiencing is, you know, either that or some sort of RAM issue, memory issue or something like that. And it just, you know, they can't handle it. So maybe, you know, maybe the developer is aware of such things and that it's taxing systems to such a degree that it's just safe to maybe tone it down a little bit, which is why the scenery thing is what it is. You know, does it look good? No. Was it necessary? I don't think it was. I'm sure there'll be arguments out there saying that it was, but I feel like we should have just remained and had the option to turn the trees down on our own. But anyway, enough blibbity blab about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mod, where you can find it, how you can install it, and all that good stuff. Okay, guys, so this is where you're going to want to start with the mod. I'll link it down below. But again, do this at your own will and your own volition. The developers did notate that the scenery options will return at some point. At least I hope to God they do, because the way it looks currently is just a non-starter for me. But this is where you're going to want to go for the mod. It's called Railroader and Friends. Obviously, funny little quip on that, because the game is Railroader and this is called Railroader. So it's an exe, or sort of like an installer that runs alongside the game, and this is where you will install it. I will link this down below where you can find that, and it goes over all the installation steps, how to install it, how to get it running. Guess what? Say there's a Railroader patch that just released. Oh no, what's it going to do to the mods? Fear not, because I've already had that happen and there's no problem so far. You literally just you update the installer, if you will. So this is the basic installer right here, and then you've got these individual mods that you can get. So there's actually quite a few. Some of them are fun and just additional things. They explain everything here if you want to take a look at it. But the only thing that I did is this graphics experiments one. So what you do is you download the mod itself, the installer that runs alongside or inside the game itself, and then you get one of the other mods that goes within that. This one here added VSync. So if you like using VSync and don't like seeing screen tearing and things like that, then you would use this. But the density, you are my density. Remember that from Back to the Future, I think. Was it Back to the Future? You meant to say you are my destiny. Anyway, this is for the tree density thing. So this was updated to fix that. Now, it doesn't notate it anywhere on here, but on the official Railroader Discord, he notated that it was updated. You can see here, updated on the 2nd of January, 2024. And what it did was add your trees and your scenery sliders back, and you can still change them within. It's not just static. It's not just set to one thing. So it just made it back to like pre-update, basically, where you can still choose them. Now that's that. Once you've got all that installed, that's that. Now you have to take an additional step, which we'll go over here now. All right, so it's really not that difficult. If you've ever modded a game before, this is cake. This is a walk in the park on a sunny day. Super easy to do. So you're going to right click on the game inside of your Steam library. Click Properties. That'll bring up this window here. Under General, you'll have Launch Options down here where all this is. Now, this is what you have to put in to get this to work. And it's, you know, it's kind of just a little funny thing, but at the same time, you need to heed it. So if you've never modded anything or you're not totally sure, I would probably just recommend not even messing with it. You know, just to be safe. If it's not your computer, like if it's your mom's 1990 Toshiba laptop, maybe don't do this, because it'll probably catch on fire and explode. Who knows what. But it's this entire line about, I accept things that I'm doing by the developers don't want me to do. Any issues I encounter will not be reported because it's my fault, blah, blah, blah. So that's what you have to put in. I will click, copy and paste this verbatim underneath the video down below. As long as you put this in your launch options and you have the mods themselves installed, you can get your precious scenery back. I know some people don't care about that. It's all about the trains. They don't care about scenery anyway. I know people play Roblox and, open rails. So there's obviously people that don't care about scenery, but I, for one, certainly do. I feel like it's just as important, as the trains and the physics and the sounds themselves. But that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.